Let's get ready to rumble. Welcome to the show. My name is Charlton with Big C. This is Charlton with Big C Sports coming to you worldwide on the Big C Sports Network, on the #1 network in the United States of America. And Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe. Of course, Big C and all those good boys around the country. This is Big C After Dark. We're bringing you up-to-the-date coverage of the Oakland A's, trying to make sure that their playoff dreams stay alive. You can follow Big C Sports on Xfinity, Comcast TV, Apple TV, Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, and a lot of smart TVs all over the universe. Also, you can follow Big C Sports Podcast on 1, Google Podcast, number 2, Alexa Podcast, number 3, Spotify Podcast, number 4, Speaker Podcast, number 5, Apple Podcast, number 6, iHeartRadio Podcast. You can follow Big C Sports on Castbox Podcast, Deezer Podcast, number 9, Podcast Addict, number 10, Pod Chaser. You can follow Big C Sports on Podtail Podcast, Hubhopper Podcast, Stitcher Podcast, Radio Line Podcast, and also Luminary Podcast. Also come to the Facebook Podcast. It's all fair and level. We're going to have some live coverage of the Oakland A's in their background. I'm going to make sure that everybody can understand that we're doing live broadcast covering the Oakland A's. Is a little bit different show tonight. It's called Big C After Dark. We want to see if the Oakland A's can keep their playoff chances alive. Everybody's looking forward to that, so we will do the best we can to bring that to you. Also, I want to pay attention to my family legacy, as I always do with Ancestry.com. I guess it's Big C's version of Ancestry.com. I pay attention to my family legacy. Mamo, she's the matriarch of the family, as well as Pop, former Negro League baseball player of the family. And then you have my grandmother, Mud Deer. She's a seer, to see things and tell you things that are going to happen. And then Heather died, my grandfather. My mother started a Head Start program in Central California. Also coached Little League Baseball to a league championship. That's all fair and love and war. And then on my father's side, you have Grandpa Curry, the patriarch of the family on my father's side, and Alberta Curry. So Albert Curry and Alberta Curry, the patriarch and the matriarch on my father's side. My father, former Air Force fighter pilot and chief mechanic in the United States Air Force. And I love everything we do. I channel Todd. Todd's a great baseball player. And so I've got the A's playing in the background. It's Big C After Dark, so it's a little bit different than you've ever seen before. But I wanted to make sure that in Northern California, as we always say, let's get ready to rumble. Going to be peeking in on the Oakland A's. Got the chance to do that. And welcome to the show, ESPY-nominated Big C Sports Podcast. No scripts, no three-way teleprompters, no producer in my ear. Some people say yes, that's fancy. I'm Big Charlton. I do my show with my higher self. I thank Malcolm for providing me stats. My son Malcolm, also Daisy at times in the past. Sometimes it's all friend of war and Big C also in the past. Tonight's show is a little bit different. Gonna have some upcoming live broadcasting. It's delayed, but it's from the Oakland A's broadcasters that are covering the Oakland A's here in the East Bay. So I produce the show. Number 2, I direct all the topics of the show. I broadcast the show. Number 4, I do all the sound effects of the show. Number 6, I do the storytelling. I provide stats, maybe not even in that order, but that makes sense. I do the play-by-play, touchdown, home run, three-point play. Oh, man, Willie, he's gone all the way. So you'll hear some of that mixed in with the A's broadcasters in the background. It is tape delayed, so we're not bringing it to you live. It is a tape delayed broadcast of the Oakland A's. And then I never missed a show. Since September 5th, actually September 12th, 2015, I never missed a show. I always honor God. My podcast, as it says in Genesis 13:15, that God said, for all the land that thou seest will I give you, and thy seed forever. And what I also love in the book of James, chapter 4, verse 2, said we have not because we ask not. So if you have something you want, just ask. It's all fair in level world. Like I've been asking for this Oakland A's After Dark broadcast. It is tape delayed, so it's not live, but I want to make sure we have that information out there. Also, pay attention to our Veterans Crisis Hotline. I will always salute our Veterans Crisis Hotline. They really are experienced helping veterans and their loved ones get help. If you know any veterans going through garbage, pick up the phone, 800-273-8255, or you can text 838-255. That's 838-255. If you're online, so if you go to veteranscrisisline.net, that's veteranscrisisline.net to get our veterans and help. Also, very happy to be affiliated with Valley Homes Weekly TV on Dish TV DirecTV, AT&T Uverse, TV at the first place, San Francisco Giants. But now we're going to be showing you after dark Oakland A's broadcast. So it's a little bit different show tonight. It's just like a special thing coming up for the playoffs for Major League Baseball. We also have the chance when you reach out to the Giants, tell them that Charlton wants those grocery tickets. Hey, the A's say not so fast, my friend. They're trying to stay, keeping their hopes alive and getting to the playoffs. Also, we'll be playing after dark Oakland A's broadcast. You'll hear that in the background as well. We also have the Big C Sports dating app for houses that get lonely too. Sometimes you can swipe left, you can swipe right, with all fair and level war. But you will hear some of the live broadcasts of the Oakland A's in the background. We have the Oakland A's and also the Seattle Mariners coming up. So we have it's not live, but we do have the permission to do some of it's a post show, but it's not live, but it is what happened in the Oakland A's tonight. So our goal is simple for real estate. Is we want to recruit 10,000 real estate agents and brokers all over this great country to help put people back to work. Like McDonald's does it, car dealers are doing it, sports teams are doing it, Watch TV and real estate work for you. 800-772-8624. If you're looking for opportunities in real estate, go to bigcsports.acwm.com. Most of our loans are underwritten by Rocket Mortgage and United Wholesale Mortgage, the number one in the country on the wholesale side. I also want to say, in addition to Oakland A's baseball and the Seattle Mariners, I want to say thank you to Xfinity, Comcast TV, and Comcast Spotlight for presenting Big C Sports to the universe, doing it after dark with a post Oakland A's broadcast. So it's not a live broadcast. The game has already concluded, but got the chance to show some of that on the Big C Sports podcast. And God said in Genesis 1:3, let there be light. So open up the doors and let there be light. Also sponsored by Budweiser Zero. It is 0% alcohol and 100% on your game is all fair and level war. It comes great with the Big C Burger. It's a tasty burger, and it comes with what's all this exotic meats. Rumor has it tastes better in your mouth than it does in your hands, as most things do. It's all fair and level war. So tonight again, special. It's a little bit different broadcast. Tracking the Oakland A's here in beautiful Oakland, California, playing the Seattle Mariners. And we're going to be playing the after broadcast of the Oakland A's game. So not an interference with their broadcast rights. They just want to bring that to you, the same stuff they released for the news. We'll take what's called the Big C Pause, also known as the Big C Timeout. We're going to bring you this Big C After Dark. It's coverage of the Oakland A's Seattle Mariners. We'll take the Big C Pause. In the words of the former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back. We are back from the Big C Pause, also known as the Big C Timeout. You'll hear Oakland A's broadcast. Game's already over, but some of the clips they released for after when you realize it, that you can put it actually on the news, just bringing it out to you. All fair and level war. Really appreciate everything that's happening in the world of Major League Baseball for the Oakland A's, showing you what's going on with the Oakland A's and the Seattle Mariners. All fair and level war. Gonna have the chance to bring you some of their broadcasts after dark. We'll take the Big C Pause, also known as the Big C Timeout, and you're gonna hear some of the broadcasting. And this is live radio on my side for the Big C Sports podcast, but it's not live radio for the Oakland A's broadcast. But I want people to realize, going into the playoffs, we want to make sure that we keep you up to date on what's going on with the Oakland Athletics. Also brought to you by Super Draft Pro. It is the fantasy sports of Caesar Entertainment. Go to superdraftpro.com/Big C Sports, featuring Sports Illustrated, Yahoo Sports Associated Press, RotoWire, Sportico. Subscribe to Unlock, the exclusive fantasy sports betting experiences with Super Draft Pro, the official fantasy partner of Caesar Entertainment. Go to superdraftpro.com/Big C Sports. We'll take the Big C Pause. We'll come back in and edit in some of the recordings from what happened with the Oakland A's tonight. Will they keep their playoffs open live? We will find out. We'll take the Big C Pause, and we'll be back. All right, we are back from the Big C Pause, also known as the Big C Timeout. Today's broadcast brought you a little bit of what happened with the Oakland A's as their game was played with the Seattle Mariners. Not going to tell you the score because some people are still recording and they want to see what happened in the games when they get home. But I'm going to run down. It's just a 30-minute show tonight. It's an edition for baseball as we'll get ready for a lot of coverage for Major League Baseball coming up on Big C Sports Podcast. I'm going to take you to the power rankings for this beautiful September 28th, 2021. And we have the power rankings for Major League Baseball. Number one is the San Francisco Giants, and these good old boys are good. Anthony D. Scalfani is a 2.67 ERA. He's a Jedi Knight. He's a gunslinger. And in 5 September starts and building momentum for October. Everybody's looking for October. He will definitely get a lot of standing ovations and applause. That good old boy on the mound. Number two in Big C's Major League Baseball power rankings, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Pay attention to A.J. Pollock batting .331 in the second half. He deserves some more praise. Give that man some praise. The Dodgers need him big time, and he deserves more attention to his performance. Also, when you look at number three in Big C's Major League Baseball power rankings, I'm going to take it to the Tampa Bay Rays. It's Shane Baz. He's 14 strikeouts in the first two big league starts. Will play a big role in the postseason if the Tampa Bay Rays are going to go far. He'll have to get a lot of praise. Give that man some praise. A lot of praise for that good old boy. I'm going to take it number four in Big C's Major League Baseball rankings. We have Willie Adams, and he has amazing. He's 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, and his first 6 games off the IL. So the Milwaukee Brewers need him to play well if they're going to have a lot of their dreams come true as we chase October for the world of Major League Baseball. Number 5 in Big C's Major League Baseball rankings, Yuli Gurriel could be for the Houston Astros, number 5 team. They could become the only non-Jose Altuve to win a batting title for the Astros. That's a good old boy. They'll be singing his praises down in the dome here in beautiful Houston. Number 6 in Big C Sports Major League Baseball rankings, the Cardinals, St. Louis Cardinals, they won 17 in a row. Can you believe that? It almost seems like a joke, but they've done it. So they keep their playoff hopes alive for the wild card. Really appreciate what they've done. Give them good old boys some praise in the city by the arch. 17 games. It's amazing. Set a new franchise record, all fan level award. Number 7, the New York Yankees, they end the season with 3 games. Think about this. In Toronto, and then 3 versus the Rays in the Bronx. That's not good for the Yankees because they had to finish with the Rays. But the Rays have already clinched. Maybe they'll rest some people. We'll see. Baseball is always better when the Yankees are in the playoffs. Number 8 in Big C's Major League Baseball power rankings, Big C After Dark. To give the man some praise, Chicago White Sox, Jose Abreu. Think about that good old boy. 1 home run through 21 games in September. Gonna need to hit some more home runs if they're gonna be successful in the playoffs. They've already clinched the Central Division, the Chicago White Sox. And what can you say about Tony La Russa? That good old boy can manage with the Oakland A's, did his thing, took them to the World Series, he had a lot of success, and St. Louis took them to the World Series. He has the same kind of hope of doing that for the Chicago White Sox. We will see. Number 9 in Big C Sports Major League Baseball After Dark power rankings, the Boston Red Sox. They have a favorable final week of the World Series against the Orioles and the Nationals. So you gotta, it's coming down to the wire. It's like, is he out of phase? Home run! Right field's all fair and level war. This is about pitching. So Boston comes at number 9 in Big C's power rankings. I'm going to bring in number 10. It's the Toronto Blue Jays. Marcus Semien could have a second top 3 MVP finish in 3 years. Give that man some praise. Major League Baseball is amazing. Even with the Rafty boys, I'm telling you, I'm enjoying this season. Number 11 just finished up in Oakland earlier tonight. Playoff drought continues for the Seattle Mariners. Their 4th 86-plus win season since 2014, but not quite enough. But they have a good team that can build on momentum for next year. Number 12 in Big C's Major League Baseball power rankings. Give them boys some praise down in Atlanta. The rotation lines up well. Charlie Morton, Max Fried, Ian Anderson set to start versus the Phillies. Atlanta can make some noise in the playoffs. They have a really good starting pitchers, and they hit the ball very well also. Number 13, tonight's game in Oakland. Beautiful Oakland, California. Just finished with the Mariners. And the Oakland A's All-Stars Matt Olson and Matt Chapman could be on the block this winter. This is a team that's always found success in winning games, but then they get shipped out to other teams as well. Wishing the A's nothing but the best as they chase the playoff spot. Number 14 in Big C's Major League Baseball, the power ranking. Number 14, Philadelphia Phillies. They head into a crucial series against the Braves, having won 9 of 12 games for the Philadelphia Phillies. They might give them good old some praise in Philadelphia. And when you give them praise, give them the Big C Burger. It's a tasty burger. And it comes with all those exotic meats, all spread level work. Gonna bring in number 15 in Big C's Major League Baseball power rankings. The Cincinnati Reds, a 2022 team option on lefty Wade Miley and a 3.37 ERA. He's a Jedi Knight. He's a gunslinger. That good boy can do his thing, and they're going to need him for the Cincinnati Reds. Number 16 in Big C's Baseball After Dark Major League Baseball power rankings. The San Diego Padres. This club has some big decisions to make after a disappointing season. But think about it. There's so much pressure to keep up with the Giants and the Dodgers. So, of course, they didn't reach the pinnacle that they wanted to this year. But you're in a tough division, and they did the best they could. It's all fair and level work. Cleveland, this is for you. Give Cleveland some praise. And their football team is good. But I'm going to put them at 17 in Major League Baseball. Shane Bieber tosses 3 no-hit innings in his first start since June 13 for the Cleveland. I mean, they're going to be the Guardians. Right now, they're still called the Indians. I like the Guardians thing. But it is what it is. I'm going to go to number 18 in Big C's After Dark Major League Baseball power rankings. Number 18, the Detroit Tigers. Now, the Tigers have gone 35-29 in the second half, and they are a team to watch in 2022. So keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on the sparrow. Number 19 in Big C Sports Major League Baseball After Dark. I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Angels. The Angels clinched their 6th consecutive losing season, and they have the highest paid player in baseball, Mike Trout. Never finishes out. Too much money for one player. I know some people want to say, oh, he's the best player in baseball, but he's really not. It's all fair and level war. But they clinched a 6th consecutive losing season. So what is paying him $400+ million doing? Nothing. They can use pitching. Number 20, Big C, Major League Baseball After Dark, New York Mets. Coming in number 20, Francisco Lindor has 7 home runs, 18 RBIs, and 896 OPS in September, in 23 September games. All fair level war. Going to take in number 21 in Big C's After Dark, the Colorado Rockies, Johnny Gray. He's a free agent this winter, has a 5.93 ERA in his last 7 starts. Not the best, but he can still pitch. Got to look forward to next season. Number 22 in Big C's Major League Baseball After Dark power rankings. The Kansas City Royals reliever Josh Stoutmount has a 2.20 ERA. He's a Jedi Knight. He's a gunslinger. He's done that in 30 games since the All-Star break. So that good boy can throw laser beams. Number 23 in Big C Sports After Dark Major League Baseball power rankings. I'm going to bring you to number 23, the Minnesota Timberwolves. George Polanco's 5.0 beat WAR through Saturday was 10th among the AL position players. You can Google that stat. It's BWAR. And that's 10th among American League position players. I'm going to take it number 24 in Big C Sports After Dark, the city of Chicago. The Cubs don't win. It's all fair and level war. They've been limited by injuries this season. It's all fair and level war in Chicago. But Nico Hoerner, he returns to finish strong. The Cubs' disappointing season, but at least they have a beautiful ballpark, if that makes sense to you. Take me out to the ball game. All fair and level war. Gonna take you down to the city of Miami. Bienvenido a Miami. The Marlins, the rookie Lewin Diaz flashing his power in 7 homers in 33 games. That good old boy was swinging the bat. Hit deep, right field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friend. It's all fair in level war. I'm going to take him to number 26 in Big C's Major League Baseball After Dark. An abbreviated show. We just finished covering some of the Oakland A's and Seattle Mariners. The Washington Nationals coming in at number 26. Patrick Corbin has been sharper in September. It's a good sign for 2022. And look forward to them. They just won the World Series a few years ago. But things changed, and they had a rough start this year, and they never could really catch up. Number 27 in Big C's After Dark Major League Baseball power rankings. I'm going to give the Texas Rangers. Beautiful ballpark down in Arlington. The Rangers finished this season home series versus the Angels and Cleveland. But it's a disappointing season. Everybody says if you just build a beautiful ballpark, they'll have more success. Did not happen for them this year. All fair and level war. Number 28 in Big C's Major League Baseball is called Big C Major League Baseball After Dark, the Pittsburgh Pirates for the 2018 and Big C's Power Ranking. Nice to see Shelby Miller back in the majors, making his 7th appearance in September. 7 appearances in September. Good old boy did his thing, but they did not have a good year. Disappointing to say this at Big C's Major League Baseball after dark, but it is what it is. Arizona, the Diamondbacks. It's all, Miguel Martin missed a lot of time, but he's been great, batting .324. And when you think about it, the Arizona's had a bad year. Good of a ballpark, great city for baseball, but a bad year. You can't put it all on him. Everybody has to step up in these situations. Just an abbreviated show. And the final team coming around the mouth makes you come, if that makes sense to you. The last team to get the vote for the Major League Baseball Big C Power Rankings, Baltimore Orioles, Cedric Mullins, because the first Oriole to join the 30-30 club. Now that's all fair in love and war. I wanted to bring you something after dark because we were watching the Oakland A's and the Seattle Mariners, making sure that we got in the Big C Sports Major League Baseball after dark, just to bring that to you. We'll be back on the saddle tomorrow, but I wanted to do a kind of a special coverage of Major League Baseball. We'll have more baseball coverage for you tomorrow for Big C Sports Podcast. We'll take what's called the Big C Pause, also known as the Big C Timeout. And when we come back, we will cover just a few more things as we hit deep right field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friends. It's all fair and love and war. Oh, just like the great Arnold Schwarzenegger, former California governor. We'll take the Big C pause and these famous words that he said, Terminator, I'll be back. All right, we are back from the Big C pause, also known as the Big C Timeout. You can follow Big C Sports 17 podcast applications all over the universe. Tonight's show is a little bit different. It's just baseball. Talk to baseball. The Oakland A's in town, and they have the Seattle Mariners. I'm going to run down the finals for Major League Baseball on beautiful Tuesday, September 28th, 2021 for Big C Sports. We had the Miami Marlins. They were in New York City, and the final score, the Mets, the New York Mets, you know, it's tough to beat the Mets at home, especially this late. It's 5-2. The New York Mets get the win over the Miami Marlins, and the loss goes to Zach Thompson, and the winning pitcher is Marcus Stroman in that matchup between Miami and the New York Mets. So congratulations for the Mets getting that win. Normally we don't give out scores, but it is Big C after dark. Wanted to get in the power rankings just before the playoffs start in October. All fair and love and war. I'm going to fire over to Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Pirates, it was 8. The Chicago Cubs 6. And that is a final. The loss goes to Adam Morgan. And the win goes to Iñaki de Los Santos. So the good win for the Pittsburgh Pirates, getting that win over the Chicago Cubs. What a ball game that was. A high scoring game for a lot of people. Going to fight over to Baltimore. Give it over to Baltimore. And you have the Boston Red Sox in town. Now the Red Sox are on the heels. I mean, they're trying to keep their attitude positive. That's all I can say at this point of the year. But the Baltimore Orioles with a 4-2 win over the Boston Red Sox. Now the losing pitcher is Chris Sale. Probably didn't expect that. And then the winning pitcher is Marcos Diplin. And so Baltimore gets the win over Boston. Boston trying to keep their attitude happy. Now I'm going to bring it to another series. We have the Toronto Blue Jays at home, and they're taking on the New York Yankees. The Yankees need to get this win. The Yankees 7, Toronto Blue Jays 2, and that's the final coming out of Toronto. The winning pitcher goes to Michael King for the New York Yankees. Yeah, give that man some praise. Give him the praise if you want to give him praise. You want to praise him, praise him. The late, great Dennis Green. Now, the winning pitcher, Michael King. The loss goes to Henyon Rue. So that's good for the Yankees. They're still trying to keep their hopes alive for a wild card plot in the playoffs, because we know that Tampa has wrapped it up in the AL East. I'm going to take it again. The New York Mets had the win over Miami 2-1. Loss goes to Anthony Bass. The winning goes to Brad Hand in that series. And so that's something that was a close game, a pitcher's duel when you have a 2-1 score. My opinion, I like when it's 7-5 or 8-7, all friend level work. Gonna fly you down to Atlanta. They didn't ask my opinion. Gonna fly you down to Atlanta, where the Philadelphia Phillies are in for Big C Sports After Dark. It's a baseball-only show for tonight. The Atlanta Braves with a 2-1 win over the Philadelphia Phillies. The loss goes to Zach Wheeler. Had 7 innings pitched. He had 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 7 strikeouts, 1 base on balls. The winning pitcher is Charlie Morton. Think about Charlie Morton, 7 innings pitched, no earned runs, about 3 hits, 10 strikeouts, and 2 base on balls. Give that man some praise for doing his thing for the Atlanta Braves. Going to fly you out of Atlanta. Going to fly you into Minnesota. What a great series. The Minnesota Twins knock off the Detroit Tigers by the score of 3-2. The loss goes to Tyler Alexander, 6 innings pitched, 1 ERA, 4 hits, 6 strikeouts, and they also had 1 base on ball, so a decent showing. And then the win goes to Caleb Thielbar. He had 1 inning pitch, and then no earned runs, no hits, and 2 strikeouts, no base on balls. So much for a short night's work for him. It's been a hard day and night, and I've been working like a dog. He wasn't working hard at all. Going to fly into St. Louis, Missouri, taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. It was St. Louis 6, Milwaukee Brewers 2. The loss goes to Yandel Gustavik, and he actually pitched 1 innings pitched, 1 ERA, 2 hits, no strikeouts, no base on ball. The winning pitcher was Adam Wainwright, the great Adam Wainwright, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 7 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 2 base on balls. Give that man some praise. The winning pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals over the Milwaukee Brewers, all fair level war. Going to take you to another game in Texas, down in Arlington, Texas. I know they're still happy that Dallas had a good beat down of the Philadelphia Eagles last night in the NFL. But this is Baseball After Dark, Big C Sports Style. Going to bring in the Texas Rangers with a 5-2 win over the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. The loss goes to Patrick Naughton. Actually, Patrick Naughton, he 2 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, 4 hits, no strikeouts, 3 base on balls. The winning pitcher goes to A.J. Alexis. That good old boy did his thing. Give him some praise. 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 3 hits, 2 strikeouts, 2 base on balls. Did enough to get a win for the Texas Rangers, even though they had a bad year. Going to fly you into Chicago. The Chicago White Sox, a great turn of the rooster. That good old boy, they beat the Cincinnati Reds by the score of 7-1. Give the Chicago White Sox some praise. The rooster knows what he's doing. The losing pitcher goes to Riley O'Brien. 1.1 innings pitched, 2 ERAs, or 2 earned runs, and 2 hits, and 2 strikeouts, 3 base on balls. The winning pitcher, Ronaldo Lopez, 6 innings pitched. He had 1 earned run, 2 hits, 4 strikeouts, no base on balls. So that good old boy did enough. This is a special edition of Big C Sports. It's called Major League Baseball Big C After Dark. We started with a countdown of the Oakland A's Seattle Mariners game. I'm not going to give out the score in that game for people that wanted to watch it, since that's what we've been doing. Kansas City Royals 6, Cleveland, this is for you, Cleveland 4. The loss goes to Blake Parker. 1 inning pitch, 1 earned run, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, no base on balls. And the winning pitcher is the great Josh Staumont. He had 1.1 innings pitched, no earned runs, no hits, 1 strikeout, no base on balls. So kind of a short order of work. Still give him some praise. Why not? Everybody likes praise. Big C After Dark. Houston, go down to Houston, Dusty Baker squad. They beat the Tampa Bay Rays. Of course, the Rays have already clinched. This will not be a preview of what we're going to see in the playoffs, but all fair and love and war when you think about it. We have, what a great game, 4-3. The loss goes to Josh Flanning. 1 inning pitch, 2 earned runs, 1 hit, no strikeouts, 1 base on ball. The win goes to Phil Matton. 1.1 innings pitched, 1 ERA, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, no base on balls. So give them boys some praise, Dusty Baker and his crew doing their thing. Gonna fly you into Colorado, where they were taking on the Colorado at home, taking on the Washington Nationals. It was Colorado 3, Washington 1, and the loss goes to Patrick Corbin. 6 innings pitched, and he had 2 earned runs, 6 hits, 9 strikeouts. He was doing his thing. Give that man some praise. And 3 bases on balls in the loss. 9 strikeouts, and you still lose. It's all fair and level work. The winning pitcher is Kyle Freeland. 6.2 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 6 hits, only 3 strikeouts, and 4 bases on balls, but they get the win. All fair and level work. I want to bring in, as we close out today's Big C Sports Podcast, it's all fair and level work. The LA Dodgers 2, the San Diego Padres 1. The race is so tight in the National League West. The loss goes to Yu Darvish, 4 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 5 hits, 6 strikeouts, and 4 bases on balls. And then the win goes to the great Walker Buehler. That good boy. Give that man, give Walker Buehler some praise. Give him some praise. That's it. Give Walker Buehler some praise. 7 innings pitched. No unruns, 3 hits, 5 strikeouts, 2 base on balls. So the Dodgers are still staying on the tail of the first place San Francisco Giants. All fair and love and war. I'm going to bring you to the final game I'm going to give out. I'm not going to give the score of the A's and the Mariners. The first place San Francisco Giants, those good boys, give them some praise. They've been running almost neck and neck through the summertime as first place in Major League Baseball, the best record. Now, the Giants 6, Arizona 4. That game was in San Francisco. I mean, the Bay Area is so gorgeous. What a gorgeous place for sports teams. In fact, all of California sees they win, and give the Bay Area some praise. Give them praise for the 49ers. Also, the Giants having championship aspirations. And don't sleep on the A's, and don't sleep on the Golden State Warriors or the San Jose Sharks, all fair level work. The loss goes to Sean Poppen. He had 1 inning pitch. Got 1 earned run, 2 hits, no strikeouts, and 1 base on ball. And the winning, oh my goodness, this team is so amazing. When you look at the Giants, Jose Alvarez, a 1 inning pitch, no earned runs, no hits, no strikeouts, no base on balls. But you know, to bring him in the close. The Giants are an amazing team. My pick this year to win the World Series is all fair, love, and war. And I'm going to take it right across the bay, but I'm not going to get out a score. It was Oakland and Seattle playing up in the great Northwest. And the pitchers, Yasmiro Petit and also Anthony Masiewicz. I'm not going to give it a score on who won because a lot of people were covering that with the Oakland A's broadcast. It's all fair and love and war. So we just did Big C After Dark. As for Major League Baseball players, we'll have more full coverage for you tomorrow. But tonight's a late edition for Big C Sports. We're going to bring in some Major League Baseball. So as we always say, back in the day, there's a man by the name of Drew Boudini Brown. He was known as Muhammad Ali's right-hand man, and he would always tell Ali, you float like a butterfly, you sing like a bee, you rumble, young man, rumble. He said, with all you've got to use, how can you lose? And what's all those exotic meats in your locker room to me? That's Drew Boudini Brown told Ali. He said, I'm pretty, I can't possibly be beat. I float like a butterfly, I sting like a bee, with all these big sea burgers, with all these exotic meats, I can't possibly be beat. Or something of that nature. I love Big C After Dark for Major League Baseball, just for the playoffs, a special edition. As my beautiful mama says, there's never evidence due for racism or domestic violence. If you know any man, woman, or child going through that garbage, pick up the phone and ask for help, because no man, woman, or child should ever have to go through that garbage on their own. And as we always tell you on every Big C Sports Show, we thank you. We appreciate you. We hope you have a super fantastic day.